Yo, what is up guys, Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this weekend, obviously, tonight, marks a great fight. We have David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade, a fight I'm looking forward to. On the undercard, we also have the return of Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo has been out of the ring for over 2 years, about 2.5 years, last fought in June of 2021. So it's been a long time since he's fought. And even in that fight against Montiel, he didn't look good. He's been out of the ring for a variety of reasons. Personal problems, mental health issues have been cited. And when that kind of thing is said, when that's claimed, I am always very skeptical because mental health in 2023 has become the cure-all excuse to alleviate yourself of responsibility, and many people use it throughout society, not just high-profile athletes, but regular people. So when I hear that, I often doubt it, quite frankly. Jermall Charlo fighting Jose Benavidez, the brother of David Benavidez. A fight in which is a comeback fight, right? It's a tune-up fight. I think it's designed for Charlo to look good. He weighs in and he blows for weight. He missed for weight by nearly 4 pounds against Benavidez. Charlo, when he's fought previously, I can't recall him ever missing weight. He usually looks pretty muscular, like he's been training, like he's been working hard. I never got the impression of that during this weigh-in. Don't get me wrong, compared to the average man, he's still in very good shape, but compared to the usual Charlo weigh-ins, he looks pretty poor, in my opinion. You know, the muscle definition isn't there, he looks kind of bloated. It just looks like he hasn't had a real hard training camp. That's what it looks like to me. Like he's been ticking over, but not like having a real hard training camp. It doesn't look like he's trained properly to me from what I saw out of a weigh-in. And then he misses weight by around 4 pounds. Kind of leads me to believe that, yeah, he's been half-arsing it. I saw a video by Fight Film, and he was saying that Charlo looked like he didn't give a fuck that he missed weight. And that's the impression I got as well. I saw BDA also talking about this last night, the BDA Boxing Podcast, and people were having their say on Charlo. And several people in the comments said that Charlo looked like a zombie, and that's exactly the impression I got. He looked sedated, quite frankly. I wonder whether this guy is on some types of medication, SSRIs or anti-anxiety medication, something along those lines, because you look at him at the weigh-in, you look at his pictures, you look at him posing, look at his eyes, man. He looks totally vacant, like there's nothing there. I'm not sure whether any of you have experienced people who have been taking those sort of medications, but the way it's hard to explain, but when somebody's on those medications, you notice the difference. It's like that glimmer's no longer in their eyes, like that sheen in their eyes is gone. It's like a dull, vacant look, and they're not quite themselves. They're there, they look the same, but they're not quite themselves, and that's what Charlo reminded me of. I've known people who have taken those sort of medications, and that's what Charlo looked like to me. Just didn't really care either way. You know, his emotions have been dulled to that extent. And bear in mind, Charlo prior was always quite an emotional guy, always fired up and, you know, aggressive, this, that and the third, but looked like he got castrated, almost. No real energy there, no real fire. Didn't give a fuck he missed weight. I wonder what the deal is with Jermall Charlo, but I don't like it. I don't like the direction his career is going in. To the point to where I don't really expect Jermall Charlo to do anything significant going forwards in boxing. As soon as he gets a big fight, he will lose, in my opinion. I think the ship has sailed for Jermall Charlo. I think he'll win this fight against Benavidez. Benavidez started at 140, then fought at 147, got shot, had a long time out of a ring, And here we are, he's fighting over 160. So regardless, Charlo should win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he looks really poor in doing so. I wouldn't be surprised. But what I saw in the weigh-in was concerning. Didn't look like the same Jermall Charlo I've been used to seeing prior to this layoff. I wonder whether he's been medicated. I wonder if he's on SSRIs or something like that, because like I said, it wasn't him. He didn't seem himself. The lack of care, the lack of energy there was concerning to me. And yeah, I don't expect Charlo to really achieve much going forwards from this point in time. As I said in my last video talking about Jose Benavidez, I think Charlo should have been stripped of his WBC title. But there we are. How he's the middleweight champion still, I've got no idea. At this point in time, he's just holding up the middleweight division, you know. But yeah, I've got no idea what's gone on with Jermall Charlo. I know he's had some personal issues in regards to like family, I think his wife, you know, things like that. But yeah, what I saw at that weigh-in was concerning. I try not to be hyperbolic or you know, over the top, so to speak. But yeah, what I saw at that weigh-in was concerning. Anybody who remembers in British boxing a few years ago, wasn't that long ago, Scott Fitzgerald. Now, Scott Fitzgerald was a guy who always had his problems outside the ring. Had a bit of talent, but kind of always half-assed it. Until he fought Anthony Fowler. He beat Anthony Fowler in an upset win. Then he beat Ted Cheeseman for the British title. Looked like his career was going on the, you know, going upwards, right? And then he got in a lot of trouble outside the ring. He made an attempted comeback, and I'll never forget the interviews he gave on Fight Week. He was only fighting like a 6 or an 8 rounder as a comeback fight, but I'll never forget the interviews he gave on Fight Week. How vacant he looked. It was clear, beyond all doubt, he was on medication, and that's the exact same energy I got from Jermall Charlo. He's on some type of medication, in my opinion. People are speculating whether he was drugged up, like, in regards to recreational drugs, and he has spoken about that, doing things like, I believe, mushrooms, etc., but I don't think he was on recreational drugs. I think he was on big pharma drugs, you know? And yeah, I expect Jermall Charlo's career from here on out to go downwards, quite frankly. I'm sure they'll cash him out against somebody. Probably David Benavidez, because I think Benavidez beats Andrade. I think Charlo, regardless, will beat Jose Benavidez. And I think you'll then see Charlo get fed to David, you know, as a way to keep on building David Benavidez. That's how I see this ending for Jermall Charlo. And yeah, I think he's actually got some serious issues, if I'm being totally frank and honest. And yeah, should he be fighting? I'm not convinced, to be honest. I'm not convinced he should be fighting. There you go. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.